Today we are drawing and learning about characters from the show Invincible. Omni-Man, the super dad with a shocking secret. Omni-Man is introduced in the very first episode of Invincible, Season 1, Episode 1, titled Get Lost. In the world of superheroes, there are lots of brave people who wear colorful suits, fly through the sky, and save the day. But no superhero is quite like Omni-Man. He looks like a perfect hero. He's got cool powers, a strong jawline, a powerful mustache, and a bright red and white suit. He zooms through the sky, punches meteors out of the way, and defeats giant monsters like it's no big deal. But here's the big twist. Omni-Man isn't just a hero. He's also hiding a huge planet-sized secret. A secret so big that when it's finally revealed, everything changes. Let's dive into the exciting story of Omni-Man, who he is, where he came from, and why he's one of the most unforgettable characters in the Invincible universe. A super alien from a super planet. Omni-Man's real name is Nolan Grayson, and he wasn't born on Earth like most people. He came from a faraway planet called Viltrum. Now, Viltrum isn't your average planet with trees and animals and oceans. Nope. Viltrum is home to a super strong and super powerful alien race called Viltrumites. Viltrumites are basically built like superheroes. They have super strength, they can fly, they can hold their breath in space, they heal super fast, and they live for thousands of years. Sounds awesome, right? But there's a problem. The Viltrumites also believe they are the strongest and most important beings in the whole universe, so they made a plan to take over other planets to make a bigger and stronger Viltrumite empire. They weren't asking nicely either. They were forcing planets to join or to be destroyed. Nolan, a loyal Viltrumite, was chosen to travel across the stars to find a new world for the empire. His mission? Conquer Earth. A hero on Earth. When Nolan arrived on Earth, he pretended to be a friendly hero. He called himself Omni-Man, and he told everyone he was here to protect the planet. He saved people from danger, stopped bad guys, and acted like a perfect superhero. The people of Earth believed him. They trusted him. They cheered for him whenever he flew by. Nolan didn't just become a superhero. He became a family man too. He fell in love with a kind and smart human woman named Debbie, and they got married. Later they had a baby boy named Mark. Omni-Man raised Mark just like any loving father would. He taught him lessons, gave him advice, and watched him grow up. He also hoped that one day Mark would get powers of his own. When Mark finally did, he became a hero just like his dad, and chose the name Invincible. Everything seemed perfect. But Nolan had never told his wife or son the truth about who he really was, why he came to Earth. That secret was still hiding in the shadows, waiting to explode. The secret revealed. Then came the moment no one saw coming. Omni-Man's secret finally came out. Mark learned the horrible truth. His dad was not on Earth to protect it. He was here to take it over. He was a soldier for the Viltrum Empire, and his plan all along was to weaken Earth so the Viltrumites could invade. Mark couldn't believe it. His own father, his hero, was really a villain in disguise. When Mark refused to join his dad in taking over the planet, things got ugly. Nolan tried to convince him with words, but Mark stood strong, so Omni-Man attacked. What followed was one of the most epic, heartbreaking, and intense battles in superhero history. They punched each other through mountains, smashed trains, and destroyed cities. Mark tried to defend Earth even though he knew he wasn't as strong as his dad. And then, in the middle of the fight, something amazing happened. Omni-Man stopped. He looked at his son, bloody and broken, and remembered the happy times they had as a family. Baseball games, laughing at dinner, teaching Mark how to ride a bike, swim, and then fly. And in that moment, Omni-Man realized something deep inside. He loved his son. He loved his family. And he couldn't finish the mission. So he flew away, faster than the speed of sound, with tears in his eyes. What makes Omni-Man iconic? Omni-Man isn't just another strong guy in a cape. What makes him iconic, meaning truly unforgettable, is the twist in his story. When we first meet him, he seems like a classic superhero, but then boom, he becomes the villain. It shocks everyone. No one saw it coming. He also stands out because of his unique look. That red and white suit, that serious face, that thick mustache. If you see a picture of him, you know who it is right away. And his voice, especially in the TV show, is deep, powerful, and kind of scary. Everything about Omni-Man feels intense, serious, and mysterious. He makes people say, "Whoa," every time he shows up. Why do people still like him? Now you might be wondering, why do people still like Omni-Man even after he did such terrible things? Well, it's because Omni-Man is not just a villain. He's also a father, a husband, and a person who made a huge mistake. And deep down, he really did love his family. He thought he was doing the right thing until he realized he wasn't. That's what makes him endearing. He's not perfect. He's not just a good or bad. He's a mix of both. And characters like that are the most interesting ones. Watching Omni-Man cry, regret his choices, and try to find a better path reminds us that even the strongest people can feel pain. Even the most powerful beings can change. That makes him more real and more human than many other superheroes. What happens next? After flying away from Earth, Omni-Man begins a new journey in space. He meets new people, faces other Viltrumites, and starts to think about what kind of person he really wants to be. Can he make up for the pain he caused? Can he become a true hero, not just in strength, but in heart? Can he fix the bond with his son Mark? These are the questions fans are waiting to see answered. His story isn't over. In fact, it's just beginning. The super dad we can never forget. Omni-Man is one of the most exciting, powerful, and surprising characters ever created. He came to Earth as a hero, turned into a villain, and maybe, just maybe, has a chance to become something greater. He teaches us that family is more powerful than any superpower. People can make terrible choices, but they can also grow and change. Even the strongest person in the universe can feel love, sadness, and hope. That's what makes Omni-Man iconic, emotional, and unforgettable. No matter what happens next, one thing is for sure. Omni-Man is a character we'll never forget and can't wait to see what happens as his story continues. And that's a wrap on today's video. Thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate you spending time with us. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. It really helps us out and make sure you don't miss any future videos. This is Nasser Subashi. Keep on creating, keep on dreaming, and most importantly, don't forget to have some fun in the process. Until next time.